For breastfeeding moms that can't lactate, I discovered that there are many options that they can, go for since they have low milk production. One is to look for a mom that, has a child, more like a wet nurse, ask her to help her with breast milk so that she can use to breastfeed her child, or a wet nurse, practically someone who may have done a prolonged milk production, constantly still breastfeeding, or someone who may have lost her own child and can just help out. Some do it for free, some do it for money. And mostly, I discovered also, the main discovery that many people in the olden days they do it a lot, especially if the mom maybe died after childbirth or she could not, and but it's secretly done. And then it dawned on me that why then do we force moms of these days that they must lactate? So I discovered this history of how then they, it was more like the rich ones, they would call in a wet nurse that would be the one to breastfeed the child. No one knows about it. It's more like a secret something. And which means this is not something that started today. It has been in existence. And you see a mom that will give birth and she has low milk production. The next thing, doctors, friends, everyone is against her. And like, okay, oh my, a mental issue, if you relax, and they will make sure in fact, I'll particularly use myself as an example. I didn't have much of large milk production, so I substituted with the artificial milk and my breast milk for my child. And a lot of people made me feel like it's because I wasn't relaxed, because I've not tried to understand, or I should take some supplements. In fact, like I said, I'm going to tell the story of a lot of things some other time. But then I realized that there are factors that can make women not to lactate or produce milk in a very large quantity or volume. One of them could be IGT, it could be hormonal, it could be medical treatments. Some people they are not allowed to breastfeed for some health issues, and many other factors that could be the reason why, or birth complications are the reason why they could not do that. And because some women do not understand this, they make mockery of these women. One of the things that actually hurts me most is when you know as a mom that you are not lactating well, and you're like, okay, I should try breast pump and everything, and you can't even produce up to 150 ml for a whole day. And imagine when you go to a cow and you do important like milk, right? And you have done in both sides and you could only get not even up to 150 for a whole day. And you expect the child, like, okay, if the child is sucking directly from the milk, that he's going to get everything and it will be enough. You keep lying to yourself. You eat all that you were asked to eat. You are adding up weight, but the child is not adding. Don't you think something is actually wrong? Well, in some cases, women will add, the child are not meant to add weight. But you go for normal health checkup, immunization, during the weight and the check, and your child is still underweight. It simply means, if you're actually for those doing exclusive, it simply means that your child is not getting enough. But most people, the environment and those surrounding them are not nice people. They don't even encourage them. They make them feel guilty, less that they don't love their child to add up artificial milk to it. And that made me understand the reason why you have to love yourself as a woman and understand that breastfeeding is a time when is another kind of support every woman needs. Everyone cannot do exclusive. I'm not trying to make exclusive bad, but let's understand that not every woman, for all these factors I've mentioned, that could be the reason that a mom cannot do exclusive. If in the olden days, people already knew about this, that the mom could not lactate well and they look for a wet nurse, why are we making it now that a mom who is even doing that now could be wrong? Well, as for me, I cannot imagine letting another woman carry my child. Okunya, nwa ha na nwa onye ọzọ. It's not happening. I rather go for that facial meal than to let that happen. because I cannot imagine they may not be bonding, but I will feel jealous that they could be bonding because it was true. It's through breastfeeding moment that there is bonding and everything. I remember I watched a movie some time ago that a nanny that came to take care of a a child, and the mom was actually a working class lady, and she would pump her breast milk, put it in the refrigerator, and instruct the nanny to give her breast milk to the child, you know as it should be. But unknown to the mom that the nanny was actually a mom previously, and she was going through a mental trauma. She lost her child, so she saw that opportunity at least to belong and feel like a mom again. So instead of using the mother's breast milk, the nanny will use her own and feed that child. Well, after some reasons, the woman noticed, why is my milk not reducing? She had never even asked, please, bring more. Like some things were wrong. But at the end of the day, she discovered and all that. However, there are conditions that could make a newborn not to use artificial milk. And on that note, you have to look for a way to find a wet nurse to help your child. There are conditions your child could be. Artificial milk is bad for their health. They can't even, in fact, it's going to be very difficult to try any kind of milk. The only milk they can rely on is that of a breastfeeding, natural breastfeeding milk. This is the only condition, or any other one that may have been in existence or in existence, can be the reason why I may allow, someone else to, breastfeed my child. If not, I don't see any reason why, because a woman from somewhere feels that I'm not lactating well, that doesn't make me a mom, and make me feel so bad that I would, kill myself trying to breastfeed a child I know he's not getting enough, and then not opt for artificial milk. I won't go for that of wet nurse. I can't. In fact, I'm too jealous to accept that. But let me not say I'm too jealous. I'm too I'm too emotional, or I wouldn't want to feel that kind of jealousy or imagine that kind of thing. Imagine someone else. I won't. I can't. Okay, I can't even try it. But I'll offer that artificial milk. That is it. But and again, unless in a condition where my child has a health issue that it must be natural breast milk and all that. If not, there is nothing that would make me you know, allow the other weight option. But if you can find a woman that would help you, and you want to really do exclusive and you don't want to go for artificial, find a woman that could be a wet nurse to your child, pay them, however you want to do transaction, it's possible. If the olden days women are doing it and people are still doing that, maybe it's because we don't talk about it enough. I don't see anything wrong in it. I can't do it, but if you can, that's fine. You can go ahead and do it. The point is, as a mom who is breastfeeding and you're not producing enough, and you are not, there is nothing wrong in going for artificial milk. It's just that it's quite expensive. That's the honest truth. It's quite expensive now. But if you can, try to substitute a little and try so that you don't, you see your child is losing weight, he's not adding weight, malnourished, and you're not producing enough. You can actually opt for the wet nurse aspect if you can, or you can go for the artificial milk. But I would not subject any woman to die in silence, knowing that you cannot produce enough and your child is not getting enough from you, and you're keeping quiet. You can opt for any of the options that is available for you that can help your child grow well. Well, I just felt like I should say this because a lot of things goes on within this issue of breastfeeding. I was going to finish this conversation, during the first week of August, during the breastfeeding week. I was very sick. My phone had issues. A lot happened, and that was why I had to pause. But I just wish some mom could love themselves more and understand that this breastfeeding exclusive is not a do or die affair. It is very good. It helps a child strong, but that doesn't mean that the child who didn't do exclusive is not strong as well. There could be one or two little differences we see, but every child will still grow to be strong and healthy. So know what works for you and make sure that you are not depressed, you are not silently dying because you want to do what every other woman is doing, forcing you to do exclusive that you know you are not even working well with. All right, so you're not a cow. Even some cows say no, they milk very well. We all know that. So please, there are some factors preventing you opt for any of the options. But me, I cannot let another woman breastfeed my child for me. I rather opt for the artificial meal. I'm in my humble self at 30.